Do you want to know the best methods when farming decorations and weapon fragments? You are in the right place. I spent dozens of hours refining and optimizing these methods so that ultimately I can present you with the fastest and most efficient ways without wasting your precious time. Following these methods will let you earn tons of gold tickets to exchange for crazy amounts of decorations or weapon fragments, and one of these methods is letting you farm Nightflower Pollen efficiently. And yes, the Nightflower Pollen is still viable and working, but after the recent update, Capcom nerfed this method to the ground, making it slower to bloom to balance things out. You can still wait for the flower to bloom, but it will take you around 7 minutes to 30 seconds before you can harvest it in the same locations like in the previous guide. However, I don't recommend this as it is a huge waste of time unless you are farming it inactively or you are doing other activities on the side, like thinking of it as an auto farm. I do have a method of making this whole process efficient without wasting your precious time, and it is directly tied to the next method, so stay tuned for that. But before going over to the next method, here are the updated methods for the Nightflower Pollen alone. The Nightflower Pollen still blooms under a full moon, and no other optional quest can manipulate this. Don't try to waste your time as I tested all of the possible optional quests. Just like in the original method, you can still spawn a full moon cycle by resting at your camp, setting the time to evening. Setting it on nighttime will not respawn the flower, so take note of that as well. The weather is not important at this point. After resting in your camp, the next thing to do is completely save and quit the game entirely. Lag back in to any server you prefer, but I always do it in private lobbies and it will still force the game to enter full moon cycle. Step 2 is heading to area 3 where we set up our camp originally in this method and going for the first location of the Nightflower and waiting for the actual flower to spawn. As mentioned, it will take about 7 minutes and 30 seconds for it to spawn. When the flower spawns, gather it and quickly head to the next campsite, which is located in area 9. After fast travel, quickly head to the area 10 to gather the second pollen in this method. To reset the entire method, head back to Winward's base camp and check Seka's offerings via item trade to trade any possible gold melding and relic ticket that you can get your hands on. After doing so, head to your tent and repeat the process from step 1. As mentioned, it is a complete waste of time if you're going to follow this method while you are playing actively. I have included this as a separate method because dads and moms like you and me, or if you are simply a busy person who doesn't have time on your hands, can inactively farm pollens while doing other activities. I've also mentioned that if you are playing actively and you simply don't want to waste time, I don't suggest Nightflower Pollen method alone, but rather follow this next method, which you can seamlessly incorporate pollen farming while also giving you more avenues to exchange gold tickets. The second method will require you to hunt ancient wyvern coins and glass algae in various areas and later on exchange these coins to the key NPCs for more golden tickets. There are a lot of ancient wyvern coins and glass algae scattered in different locations, but I have optimized a farming route for you. Following this route will give you up to 12 coins per run, which is the fastest coin gains for your time, and as promised, combines the Nightflower Pollen farming to give you the ultimate gains per hour. I highly suggest using a dedicated farming build as well to increase your gains by a lot, and the build doesn't have to be optimized or anything. Just follow my equipment in here where I do have geology and botany skill at level 3, and that's it. By the way, we will be jumping from various campsites in this method, so as I go over the campsites, take note of these campsites and set it up first. For the sake of this guide, I am listing all of the key campsites that you should be placing first before starting this method. The first step is setting the time right by fast traveling to your base camp in Scarlet Forest. Now head to your tent and set the weather to plenty and time to evening. Make sure to completely save and quit your game and log into a private lobby. Teleport to Area 8 Underground Lake via pop-up tent and notice that there's a curious shell crab on the nearest fishing spot. Equip your net and capture the crab to get your first wyvern coin. Head to the other side of the underground lake and use a grappling hook to quickly snatch the second coin. You can use this auto grappling technique by pressing L2 and cycling through the available materials near you with the up and down directional buttons. Master this technique as you will be using this a lot. Head outside the cave with your sacred and notice that there are vines nearby that you can climb. On top of it is a wyvern's nest and you can pick up the third coin. Fast travel to Area 12, Northeast Camp to save time. Do a 180-degree turn and notice that there's a waterfall nearby with a hidden cave inside. This cave will let you access a long diving spot with multiple glass algae and a wyvern coin in it. You can swim as fast as you can in here, but just be mindful of the available materials that you can auto-gather to save time. As soon as each materials appears, snatch it with a grappling hook trick. You can also gather weathered treasures here if you want to. After the diving section, fast travel to Area 6, Flowering Rock Campsite, and do a 180-degree turn. There is another crab in here that you can capture, but in this run, it doesn't spawn. I'm showing you a run where it spawns, and keep in mind that a few spots in this whole method may not spawn a certain crab since there's a little bit of RNG involved. But most of the time, the spawn rates are pretty solid and consistent. Continue the run by heading to your left where another cave is located. Approach the pond the nearest possible until the glass algae and wyvern coin appear on the auto grappling menu. Turn your back against the pond and get the algae and the coin with the snatching trick. After that, head to Area 16 Hidden Waterfall Campsite. Do a 180-degree turn and head inside the Woodward's resting quarters to capture another crab. Grab the Mandragora here if you want to for your crafting needs. Head to Wyveria by fast traveling to Area 8 Gap in the Rubble Campsite. Near the tent, there's a crab that you can capture resting in the pile of bones. Next is fast traveling to Area 18 Sinkhole Camp in the Ice Shard Cliffs and enter the nearest hole located on the side of the tent. Crawl your way in and another crab is waiting for you on the other side of the hole. After getting the crab, fast travel to Area 15 Upper Corridor Campsite. Use the Sacred to traverse the long spiral staircase, and at the end of it, you will find another crab. We are done in the Ice Shard Cliffs area, and fast traveling to Area 14 Mining Cave Camp in Oil Whale Basin is the next step. Ride your Sacred and follow the nearby tunnel, which will lead you to another crab. The crab did not spawn, but I am showing you around where it actually spawned. Ride your Sacred to Area 18 by following a long tunnel, and it will lead you to the Wyvern Milk Source area with a crab that you can capture near the exit. That's it for Oil Whale Basin, and fast travel to Windward Plains Area 6 Valley's Hideaway Campsite. Do a 180-degree turn and not for long, find another crab that you can capture. Then go ahead and fast travel to Area 14 Groundwater Vein Campsite. Head to your left deep in the caverns to find another crab located in the center of the area. Head further into the cave and notice that there's a diving section nearby. Dive into it and possibly find a bonus wyvern coin. And then dive into the next water section and another wyvern coin can possibly spawn here, but as you can see, there's none. Multiple sources claims that ancient wyvern coin spawns in here, but during my long hours of testing, it did not respawn ever. So it is either patched or there's a specific trigger to make them spawn. I'm just trying my luck, so I've still included this route in my method. After the water sector, fast travel to Area 3 South Campsite. It is time for the most exciting part, which is gathering the Nightflower's pollens. And yes, the time flows still when you are gathering all of the wyvern coins. So I've carefully timed in the number of coins that you will farm in this method, so by the time that you are done gathering all of the coins that I mentioned so far, the Nightflower Pollen is ready to be gathered. After gathering the first pollen, head to Area 9 Lookout Hill Campsite and gather the second pollen near your location in Area 10. Fast travel to Scarlet Forest and talk to Nara, and check Seka item tray to possibly exchange gold tickets. Then access Godigog for a possibility to exchange 30 ancient wyvern coins for a golden ticket, while accessing Robe's item trade for possible ancient wyvern coins in exchange for the glass weeds that we gathered along the way. You are done for this run, and to reset the whole method, head to your tent and switch the weather to plenty and the time to evening once again before resting. Then save and quit the game. Rinse and repeat. By following this method, each run gives you 2 Nightflower Pollens, possibly up to 12 wyvern coins, and glass weeds for your total gains. In case you are wondering, doing this method efficiently will only require 10 minutes for each run with loading times included, and that is decently fast if you ask me compared to the next spot. So in an hour of consistent farming, you can gain up to 12 Nightflower Pollens, potentially 60 to 72 wyvern coins, and lots of glass weeds. That's an easy 12 golden tickets which can be traded for a lot of decorations and relics. If you count the golden tickets for Godigog, you can expect 14 golden tickets. Now depending on your scenario or preference, our staple high-level monster hunting could be the best in the game or the night pollen farming method. The staple high-level monster hunting is pretty simple and reliable method of getting decorations and weapon fragments. This method will require you to hunt tempered archvelds with a lesser tempered monster involved in SOS quests. Given that your party will be hunting 2 large monsters during this quest, expect a lot of rewards. You can encounter quests that can reward you 10 pieces of decorations or even a quest that provides 14 ancient weapon fragments, and that's a lot. It may sound like the be-all end-all in terms of farming gains per hour, but you need to know its disadvantages as well. The best dual quests that provides the most rewards possible are harder to access because of their high demand. You will find yourself getting errors because of these quests are already full. So you will find yourself constantly refreshing the SOS quest page, which takes a lot of time and potentially wastes a lot of your precious hours. Plus there were a lot of cases which the party failed to complete the quest. Not to mention, these dual high-level monster quests usually last around 7 to 10 minutes, maybe more depending on how the entire party will perform. Another option is you can just join a single tempered archveld quest since they are all common and easier to access, but the caveat is they provide lesser amount of rewards. Of course, these methods have their advantages, like if you are rushing your hunter rank levels, this is one of the best ways to go. Or smelt your unwanted archveld gems or monster materials for more oracle sites in the all-whale basin, or stockpile heavy armor spears as well. And ultimately, fighting monsters is more fun and engaging compared to the previous method. So depending on your current situation, availability, and preference, determine the best method for you. Don't forget that the optimized night pollen farming only requires 10 minutes as well, with little to no failing quest factors compared to the high-level hunting method. So depending on your needs, the night pollen farming or the high-level hunting can be the best in the game. But if you are a beginner and you just started the game and find all of these overwhelming, this video will help you set up the best start possible in Monster Hunter Wilds. And I will catch you on the next one.